Hello, hello, and welcome to the show. Hello, 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 welcome to the show.
So let's have fun.
Dear God in heaven, please let this show go okay, with no major boobs or goofs, or is it goofs? Please don't let me tread all over the intros of records, or say a naughty word.
Now, for those of you watching in black and white, this one is in Technicolor.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Cookie Show.
We'd like to say that, in our opinion, it is not suitable for children or for those of you who may have a nervous disposition.
Good people, it is my pleasure to present to you the one and only...
Well, hello, it's Monday again. Yes, what your Mondays were made for, a bit of cookie action for the next couple of hours. We're live here at Target Radio. Lovely. Also with me tonight in the other hot seat, because I kept it warm for him, we've got Andy Top Walker. Hello, Andy, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Sean. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad. A little bit closer to the mic, please.
Sorry, sir. That's
okay. He's learning still. In all of his years, he's still learning to talk. Anyway, on tonight's show is starring you guys. Yes, the heroes out there up and down the country in their Ford Transit vans, holding together their drum kits and guitars. We're talking about the unsigned bands and artists. Of course, we're going to throw in a couple of the other bits and pieces as well, like The Who, The Jam, The Kinks. You know, those sort of people as well. But no, mainly tonight, we are going to be featuring one certain unsigned artist. Do you know who it is, Andy?
I do know.
You do know who it is, but we're not going to say a word. Of course, it's all over Facebook that Johnny Mason is going to be alive tonight.
Come on, Johnny.
Hello, Johnny. You're there. You're going to be on air around about 6:30 this evening. And we've got a fantastic story to share, haven't we, Andy, with Johnny?
We have.
He's absolutely reinvented himself yet again, like all great musicians, and we're going to be asking him that, what he's doing next. We'll find out a little bit about the past as well. We're not going to go too much in the past, though, Andy, because I'll be honest with you, what's done is done. Let's move forward and look at the future. Right now, we've got... Hang on. Yes, you know what time it is. It's birthday time here on Target Radio. And it's nice to have my little what are we going to call you, Ruby?
Little Cookie.
Little Cookie. There we go. Little Cookie on the microphone, who's helped me with the birthdays this evening. So it was your birthday today on Monday, the 11th of March. Happy birthday, everybody. Say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
There we go, whole house of people here tonight. Right, so we're going to point to the, so we say the celebrities. I've used that term very loosely, though. So we've got today...
Greg Olsen.
Or Olsen, even. And he's a football player, Ruby. I think he's an American football player, though, where they handball and put it over the bar. And apparently they call that football. What's that all about? Okay, TV actor, his name is...
Path something.
Yeah, good. I'm pleased you pronounced that, because I couldn't do it. And he's a TV actor. Now, this guy I do know. His name is...
David Newman.
Happy birthday to you. He's a composer of Bill and Ted. Do you remember Bill and Ted back in the 90s? Excellent Adventure. Party on. Schwink. No, that was Wayne's World. You got it wrong. Honestly, you bring him in and he mucks it all up. Okay, just a couple more then from the celebs, because there's not many today on the celeb frontage of greatness. But we have got one. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but his name was...
Anton Yelchin.
And he's a movie actor best known for playing Chekhov in the revamped Star Trek galaxy of stars, and he got run over by his own vehicle, unfortunately. But it would have been his birthday today, unfortunately no longer with us. Okay, a couple of, TV actor now we've got.
Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah, you know Johnny Knoxville. He's been famous for quite a few different things, including the Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah, do you remember the film Dukes of Hazzard? He was in that. I knew that. And one more there. Movie actor, we've got
Terrence Howard.
And Terrence Howard is having his birthday today. And he's been in The Brave One, Iron Man in 2008 as well. And you can see him as Lucius Leon on the Fox series Empire. So happy birthday to you as well. Right, okay, let's get rid of those. And let's do these instead. So we've got on the Facebook then, if your name is
Aid Martin.
Or Adi Martin, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Also, today we've got
Christine Graham Mayer.
Christine Graham Mayer, happy birthday to you, Christine. Have a wonderful day. Also, we got
Stephen Ramsey.
Happy birthday, Stephen. And we've also have
Donna Jones.
And it's your birthday as well. We've got
Khan Ali.
Happy birthday to possibly even Ali Khan as well. Not sure if we've got your name around the wrong way or the right way. We're not sure there, but happy birthday to you, sir. Okay, just 2 or 3 more then. We've got
Laurie Vesper Barber.
What a great middle name. I'm not sure if it's real, though. And the penultimate one, do you know what that means, Ruby?
No.
The one before last. Okay, we've got
Alice Blakemore.
And it's your birthday today as well. Now, we've got a celebrity of our own to hype up today. It's his birthday, and he's celebrating a milestone, really. I am talking about Mr. Tufty. His name is
Steve Carver.
How old is Steve today?
64.
Yes, he is 64. But apparently, according to his webpage and his Facebook profile, he's 1664 today, Ruby. Mm-hmm. He's looking good on it, I tell you now. But anyway, I was trying to get a word with Steve Carver, but unfortunately, I think he's intoxicated with all of the 1664s that he's been consuming this afternoon. But I know his daughter took him out for tea and biscuits earlier at one of the ye-old tea shops there in Woking. So happy birthday to a really good friend of mine, Mr. Steve Tufty Carver, who is also our resident punk rock legend that knows everything about punk rock, because he was there, you know, Ruby. There we go. You're not really that impressed, are you? You don't even know what punk rock is, do you?
No.
No! Okay, I'm going to have to invite Steve over here, and he's going to have to educate you on all punk rock matters. But for now, though, we were going to play a punk rock thing, but I thought, no, let's play a brilliant birthday song just for Steve Carver. Thanks, Ruby.
Bye.
Wasting precious time with you.
Absolutely brilliant.
Hello, mate.
Hello, would that be a Mr. Johnny Mason?
It is.
There he is, there he is. Hello, good evening, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. So we just played 27 Band there and Black Ice, and who wrote that song, Black Ice?
Dean Lowe.
Dean
wrote that song.
There he is, Dean Lowe. Absolutely.
Dean Lowe.
Love Dean. Love Dean.
Dean Lowe, yeah.
There he is. You're a little bit quiet there. We'll
Beautiful
try and turn you up a little bit here. See what I can do. Right, okay. Let's see what I can do there. Right, speak to me, Johnny.
Speak to me.
There we are. There we go. No, that's not the name of your new song, is it? Right, there we go. So we've got Johnny Mason here with us live on Target Radio this evening. Thanks, Johnny, for hopping on and spending 20 minutes, half an hour of your time with us this evening.
No problem.
We're going to do something slightly different this evening with the format, because usually we have a chat, then I'll play a couple of songs from the artists that I've been speaking to. But tonight we're going to be playing just a couple of extra songs for you, Johnny, because obviously it sort of runs in with a story that you want to share with not just me, but obviously all of our lovely listeners out there here in Target Radio.
Everybody in the scene.
Everybody in the scene. So let's go back then. So when did you first start getting involved with music, really?
Hard
one.
15.
Wow. And you're
15.
And you're just the other side of 50 now, aren't you? So it's been a
52 this year. Yeah,
wow.
November this year. 52.
Brilliant.
Whoa.
So 15 when you first started getting into the music scene, then.
I've been in the scene for all them years, from 15 to 52.
Wow.
And I've done loads of. I've probably been in 5 or 6 different bands.
Yeah.
But it's been the journey's been amazing. It's been up and down, and it's been songful. It's been sweet. It's been beautiful, and it's been from the heart. Whatever we've done.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, for anyone that's not heard your music, obviously, we'll go through all the digital platforms in a minute where they can find you.
Yeah,
but
sure.
For people that have heard you obviously play and hear you sing, you play with one thing a lot of musicians don't, which is heart and passion. Well, it's 2 things, actually, but heart and passion, I think, are the main 2 instruments that you really do have and you really use to benefit your music and obviously get your music over.
Yeah, I think it's from my point of view. I think it's your alter ego rather than you.
Yeah.
It's your alter ego that is that artist. It's that have this moment in life.
Yeah.
Listen to this, have a go, and really put your strength into it. But from a normal point of view, I'm just a normal fella, you know.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, you get up, you go to work, and you come home, you have your dinner, you probably fall asleep watching whatever on TV. You did a normal rock and roll thing,
But your rock and roll was your weekends. It was a massive thing in them days.
That's
when there was lots of venues.
Yes, of course.
You can go out and do maybe 4 venues: Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night.
Yeah.
And go home. But nowadays, sadly, the venues are shutting down.
Yeah, they are. They are killing live music as well.
They're killing live music.
Absolutely.
It's not fair.
It's not, no. And I always say, if you want to hear an artist at its very, very best, to go and see them play live. See them watch you, drop, the odd note here and
keep open mics,
absolutely.
Open mic nights live.
Yeah, I totally applaud that. Yeah, woo, yeah, definitely.
Keep them live. Keep them going.
That's it.
Because that's the fruit of our loom. We need to have more open mic nights everywhere.
Do you know, I can see you now, roadside, with
bedroom guitarists can go out there and put their thing out there and become rock stars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how they were all discovered.
I've got 2 rock stars in my lines. I've got Jack and I've got Georgia.
Absolutely. We'll get on with those in a second. We'll go back to, obviously, your your family in a second, because obviously the Mason gene runs very strong. And obviously, you have produced 2. Yeah, you've produced 2 superstars there, Johnny, and we'll go there in a second. But what's your musical influences when you first started out? Who did you listen to? What was really giving you that?
I didn't really have... I grew up in Australia as a child, and my father won the equivalent of Stars in Your Eyes in 1971 in Australia.
So, obviously, then, the music has actually come back from your father, then, really?
Well, my grandfather was the lead tenor in Farnham Opera Act Society from 1931 till 1955.
Wow. And obviously then that gene has gone down to your dad and then obviously to yourself.
It's genetic, Sean, isn't it? It's just genetic.
It's in your genes.
It's like if you're a scaffolder, your grandfather was one.
Absolutely.
Or if you plough fields, your great-grandfather ploughed fields. It's one of them, isn't it?
Hang on, I'm going to bring Andy on this one, if you don't mind. Can we ask you about yours?
My father?
Yeah.
Evening, Johnny. How you doing, fella?
Hello, Andy. How are you? All right?
I'm good, thanks, mate. Yeah.
Good.
My dad was an engineer. So.
And you're an engineer?
No, I'm not actually. I'm now an installations manager for a double glazing company. So, but
I remember I worked with the same company as you many years ago.
You did indeed, mate. That was over.
I was a sales director.
You were indeed. Trade sales, weren't you? Trade sales.
Life goes on.
It does.
Yeah, as they say.
Well, my father definitely did not work on radio, or he was a DJ, or he liked music or anything. Do you know something? Sometimes I think it skips a generation, because I think that my great-granddad was a magician, and actually, this is my great-granddad. We're going back a few years
Well,
now.
maybe this is you doing magic now.
Well, I'm trying to do magic with other people's, shall we say, skill set. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to magic them
nothing.
up and get them out there and get them heard. So that's the
Yeah, that's
biggest
good.
magic trick. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, you've got something there. Right, so obviously then you started out when you were 15, but now you, as you quite rightly said, just jumped a little bit ahead. You've got Georgia and obviously Jack.
Jack, young Jack.
Now,
yeah.
obviously, if those who don't know who Jack Mason is, a star really in his own right. He's appeared on X Factor. But before that, he's the busking man that you see in Aldershot, in Camberley and surrounding areas. And to look at him, you think, my goodness me,
Yeah,
where
the
does that
rock
voice
star.
come from? And it comes from within, deep within. And he's got a fantastic voice, Johnny. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. He's a beautiful child.
He is. He's absolutely fantastic.
He's a beautiful child. He's a very loving child.
Yeah.
He's very skilled. I've got some old school videos of him, funny enough,
Oh, well, you'll love you for that.
doing Oasis stuff and what have you. But he doesn't like me showing it. But
Exactly,
I will.
that's what I mean. He'll love you for that.
Maybe put them out there.
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. But apparently
No,
he's doing
don't
something...
do that, don't put that out there.
No.
He's fine though. He's fine.
Excellent.
I love my son and he loves me. So
Brilliant.
we can do whatever we want.
And he's got
Yeah.
something really exciting in the... well, it's happening right now, isn't it? What's he doing?
I don't know. What you tell me?
Oh,
He's doing everything.
He's recording something,
got
isn't he?
He's recording an album. Yeah.
He is indeed. An album, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
An
and
album.
the album's called Parachute, and it's relative to my father being in the parachute regiment. He was in the Free Para.
Yeah.
And he was dropped on Suez Canal crisis in 1956.
Wow.
At night, and that was his first ever jump out of an aeroplane. Because that was called the Camp Penguin. He didn't want to jump out.
No, I'm not. I don't think I would jump out, let alone at night. For goodness' sake! Oh my!
No, that's true. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't know where you're going to land, especially if you
No
land in
one
the
really
canal. You're going to get
wants
wet.
No one wants to do that. Being shot at. No.
But that, yeah, and obviously that as well. I mean, but that is absolutely brilliant that he's recording an album. And I mean, how old is he? 19, 20 now?
He's 20 now. He's
20 years
old
of
now.
age. We'll have to get him in soon, and we were talking about that earlier, weren't we, Johnny? That we're
Yeah,
going
we
to get.
could do maybe a few things.
Yeah,
Maybe
father
Jack,
and son
yeah,
duo
cool.
coming down here at our little old studios, bringing you guys in, playing
Yeah,
a guitar,
we'll
and
do
having a little sing-song, all of us.
Yeah,
here.
we'll have a little something with you.
Well, I
No
probably
problem.
won't sing, but, you know, I don't want to sort of
Yeah,
like...
you could do a bit of harmonies or something. To do a bit of
maybe not.
in
I'll
the
get Andy to
kitchen.
do that one, some deep
or
baritones.
back in the
Yeah,
house.
thank you.
That's it. We'll bring Andy in and we can do the deep baritones. You've got the
You can
baritone
do
voice, haven't
baritone.
you?
I'm told
Yeah.
I've got a deep voice, yeah.
That's cool.
Have you got a question for Johnny?
I have, Johnny.
Go on, son.
The music you write, is it... Sorry, I'm just moving the mic a bit. The music you write, where do you get your influence from on that?
Where do I get the what?
influence.
Sorry.
The influence that you when you sit down and write, is it sort of...
All my songs are about life.
So it's something that...
All my songs are about my own personal experiences. That's it.
Okay,
It's,
so-
like, it's hard to find the personal experiences to get them out there, but they're always there in the back of your head, in what you call your subconscious mind.
Okay, so your favourite song that you've written and you perform, which one is it?
Mermaids.
Mermaids. I do love that. So yeah, I'll agree with you. I can't relate to it, but I certainly understand.
I'll tell you how you relate to it.
Go on.
Well, do you want to? Should we tell that story?
I think we can tell the story, then we'll play it, and then we'll come back
Okay.
after we do that. Then
Mermaids is a story about a singer-songwriter who's a little bit hedonistic. He's been in the scene for a lot of years. He's been in the spin cycle of life. And he goes down to the rocks every day and he writes his songs by the sea. And one day in his hedonistic stage, he sees a mermaid. That he falls in love with a mermaid and decides to take his own life in her world, to be with her forever.
Wow.
That's really deep, actually.
That's very
It's
deep.
quite deep, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's quite deep.
That is brilliant, though, Johnny. And you know, when you come up with things like that, obviously that's pulled from somewhere. And how do you find that? Where do you find it?
I went through a lot of pain in my life, which I kept under my skin for years and years and years. And then I found the strength to write it, but the only way I could write it was in song.
Yeah.
I couldn't just write literally, this is what I feel like, because it's pointless. So I wrote it in song.
Now, that is brilliant. I'll tell you what, we teased the audience enough. I think we're going to hear this one. Now, just explain, this one is actually a master copy of Mermaid. So this was done in a studio, was that correct?
Yeah, first time it's been played. It was recorded in my studio in Aldershot about 10, 12 years ago.
Fantastic.
With a live band.
Now, that is brilliant, and we're looking forward to that. So what we're going to do, we're going to fade you down for a minute there, Johnny, and we're going to bring in this brilliant track. Now, I've heard it once only, this version of it. Obviously, I've got the live of it. I've got the live version that we've done many, many times before. But this is the first time that you guys out there in Target Radio are going to actually hear this.
This was the Well Alive band, Sean. This was the Well Alive band playing this.
Okay, let's hear it then, shall we? And you might hear a relevance of, maybe some seaside noises in the background as well.
Yeah.
Right, okay. We'll be back with Johnny Mason in literally, about 5 minutes and 18 seconds, roughly. Okay, this is Mermaid, and this is Johnny Mason with Well Alive. Well, I've got to say, Andy, just before we go back to Johnny there, what do you think of that?
I love that tune. I really do.
And that lovely, and the waves and the seagulls and everything there, and, do you know, what was that? Who put that in there as well? Johnny, what are you doing?
The Who influence.
What did you do there? That's definitely the Who influence there, isn't there?
Yeah, it was. That was Down by the Sea and Sand in my mind.
Absolutely.
But at the end, if you listen to a bit at the end, it was just some guy playing an acoustic guitar, floating out in the sea in a little dinghy, wanted to take his life and live with the mermaid.
Ah, of course, yeah. There's the lyrics there as well.
Ding, 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 ding.
Now, I could make a light of this and say there's some sort of fishy tale, but I won't.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Now, obviously, we were talking about Jack beforehand. It's only right that we talk about your daughter as well. Now, she has got a phenomenal voice. Now, she's got a different name as well, hasn't she, out there in the music business?
She's massive out there, yeah. She's done really well. She goes under the guise of Sharky, which is, it goes back to the days when we used to go to Portugal fishing for sharks.
Wow.
And I caught this 4 foot, 5 foot long blue shark one day.
Yeah.
And she went to take the picture, and she went to take the picture, it turned around and tried to bite my face off. So it was like, it was quite a dramatic photo.
Absolutely.
But,
I'm surprised you didn't drop the camera.
Been really into them, really into sharks.
Hence the name,
now
Sharky.
She's in the Shark Preservation Society. So she's in that society now.
Oh, that is
brilliant. Fair play to her. It's a lovely thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, obviously, I'm just going to go rattle through a couple of bits and pieces. So, you're 27 band. Obviously, it was Johnny Mason and the Acoustic Destroyers. We had Well Alive. And obviously, Johnny Mason as your own individual. What's next for Johnny then? What are we doing from now? Really here now. What are we doing? What are you up to? What's your plans?
Well, every Sunday.
Yep.
Jane and I, my wife.
Yeah, the lovely Jane.
Good evening, Jane.
Yeah, hello, Jane, by the way.
We go to the gospel church.
No!
Yes.
Now, that is really, really something different, but actually, thinking about it now, it may be a progressional move.
Yeah, it's a growing up move.
I think so.
Yeah.
Are you telling me now you're the other side of 50, you're growing up?
Oh, changing man.
There we go. I'm liking it. I'm liking the reference.
Yeah, changing man. It's just something. I spent a lot of years in front of crowds. Some big, some small.
Yeah.
Sometimes smaller the better, but the big crowds were fantastic.
Of course.
Getting euphoria, personal euphoria from that crowd.
Yes.
And I fell ill 10 years ago. And I found it difficult to go back out there. I felt a little bit of a strain.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I got introduced to the church, from the gospel church particularly,
yeah,
by a friend of mine, and we go every Sunday. if we can.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't have to go this Sunday because the Lord blew all my fences down with his wind. So unfortunately, we had to fix them.
Yes.
But in general, yeah, it's a collective consciousness of love and happiness that makes us want to go there. And the music is immense, amazing. Keeps my singing voice going, let's say.
Indeed. And to be honest with you, you have got a really good voice. And I mean, I'm not just saying it, but Andy, go on.
No, you haven't. You still have.
Yes, you have.
You still have that great sound.
Yeah, okay.
I heard you last year, Johnny. I heard you last year. And like you say, small crowd, but a nice welcoming crowd at one of the pubs in the local area. And you sang your socks off, mate. And I'll be honest with you, you sung to, like I said, a small collective audience. We were there, Andy, weren't we?
We were indeed.
And,
you were.
And it was a really good evening. And you sung a good range of music as well.
Oh, thank you so much.
No
That's
problems at all. And you know how to entertain an audience. This is the thing. In between the songs, which obviously is what people are there for, you know how to interact as well, which a lot of, shall we say, bands and artists out there tend to sort of think, okay, well, you know, I've got them now, I'm singing, they're loving the songs, but you're not doing anything in between. But you do.
Yeah, you've missed the moment.
Exactly. You have some fun with them, you know.
And I think the thing is with a gig, I always believe, when you're out there, you've got to do it with your alter ego.
Of course you have, yeah.
Unless you're super fantastic as a person, you need an alter ego to be able to make that work.
Of course. So
it's the same with you DJing or doing anything you're doing. It won't work with just you. Because just you would be boring. You need to change from what just you is.
Well, absolutely. I mean, obviously, on the radio, I am me. But when I'm out sort of mobile DJing, I'm much more like, you know, this and hello, everybody. And,
yes,
you know, you tend to sort of emphasise yourself
Tony
a little bit more.
Blackburn mode. You've got to go in Tony Blackburn mode.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yeah, well, smashing. Absolutely terrific track.
It's so true.
But we love Tony Blackburn. There we go. We love the cheesiness of Tony Blackburn. We love the music that he spins. And
exactly.
You know, that's the thing. Absolutely. So, we're going to play two more songs in a very short while, in literally about a couple of minutes' time.
Yeah, I've been talking too much, sorry.
No, not at all. So, I know that you all want to get your badge back. We've been talking about that off air and everything. So,
I'd like to do things, yeah.
You want to do a few more things, but, you know, is it going to be big, or is it going to be a bit more intimate, or maybe something in the middle?
If I had the chance, now I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling up for it, and my life's changed, I think I'd like to reform the Weather Live Band. If there was any musos out there that really could cut the mustard. I'm not talking about pony old players. I'm talking about proper musicians.
Yeah.
If they want to jump on board, then give me a shout. If not, then I've done so much over the years, Sean.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, you've gone.
I've done so much.
You've done a lot of Jam. You've done a lot of Weather. You do some really good covers of the Who, the Kinks, Small Faces, all of that.
Yeah.
You
done
know.
everything.
Now,
I've done all sorts.
I mentioned the Small Faces there because I know you've got one muso already possibly booked. Who's that?
Stevie Marriott.
Young Stevie Marriott, obviously the nephew of the late great Steve Marriott.
Yeah. He's like a son to me.
He's a fantastic fella as well, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is a beautiful lad. He's
really nice, and he's very talented as well. And when you came into the other studio with another radio station in a galaxy far, far away, and you'd done All or Nothing, I tell you now, the hairs on the back of my neck were rigid. They were upright. They were standing to attention.
Yeah, that was quite nice. Yeah,
it was beautiful to actually see the progression of, obviously Steve Marriott's nephew playing it.
It's the blood. It's in the family.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Thing is, what you get with music is you find fellas that jump on board when they're 35 years old, like a midlife crisis, going out doing tribute bands.
Yes.
Which is great. Yeah, go on, son, go and do it.
Absolutely.
But it comes from the loin. All this love comes from the love of your family and your experiences prior.
That's it. Now, we've dropped one name there. We've dropped one name of Stephen Marriott. Now, I'm going to drop another name now. Obviously, Anne Weller. Now, you have had a couple of... Anne Weller, for those who don't know, is Paul Weller's lovely mum. She is absolutely gorgeous. I met her a few times myself. But you've got a really fun little story you'd like to share with.
I've got a few fun stories.
Well, do the one about the window, because that is really funny.
But I remember I was working in Woking.
Yeah.
For a company called I won't mention them because they stitched me up. But
okay, let's not talk about them.
And they got a phone call, and I had to go. There's a Mrs. Weller is locked out of her house at the convent in Woking. I said, all right, I'll go around there. So she had lead light windows on her back door.
Yeah.
So I got there, and there's Paul Weller's mum stood there, and what are you doing here? She said. I said, I've come to fix your window, Anne. She said, oh, all right. How you doing? All right. I went, yeah, lovely. Can you get me in? I said, yeah. She said, I'll buy a cup of tea and get you a biscuit when we get in there.
Oh, bless her.
Right, fine. So I smashed the little lead light window.
Yeah.
Opened the door, put my hand in it, and she went in and she started telling me all about the kids, about Paul's kids, and about life, and about a little dog.
Aww.
It was a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
it was a beautiful moment.
And she is so welcoming. I mean, we were talking off air again, and she will come out and support live music from unsigned bands.
Yeah, thanks to Enzo and to Jeanette.
Yeah, absolutely.
For their hard work in keeping her going and getting her out there.
And she really, she really loves the live music. Though I've sat with her.
Yeah, she is.
I've actually sat at the same table.
Lovely lady.
And she's tapping her toes. She's nodding her head. She's really getting involved in the live music scene. And again, obviously, that's probably sort of like inherited, probably from the sort of genetic thing that we started off our conversation with.
Of course, it was.
And she just loves it. And I know, obviously, she loves her son Paul and what he does and everything. But, I think it goes further than that, really. She just loves the live music.
Paul's a superstar now.
Of course he is, yeah, absolutely.
Paul's a superstar. I followed him from the early ages, from In the City album.
Yeah. And
I think the next track you're going to play is I think, am I right, me and Neil Samuels?
Now, I was just going to get on to Neil Samuels, because you sort of found Neil as a musician, and you sort of took him under your wing a bit.
He found himself, but he approached me so many times and wanted to get involved, and I felt I needed to give him time because he was such a lovely musician and such a lovely guy.
And he is a lovely guy. We've, he's been here at the radio station already and played.
Yeah.
And what is really refreshing about Neil, I mean, obviously, setting sort of gender and obviously where he's from originally, because obviously for those that don't know who Neil Samuels is, he's actually of Asian descent. And
no, he's from Goa. He's a Catholic from Goa.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously being Asian. Is that a boundary? No, it's not, because we're here to hear his voice. No, of course it's not. And it's brilliant to hear Neil sing. And he does some really good Who covers as well, to be honest with you. And he does. He does some good jam ones as well.
He ain't bad, as we say.
Absolutely. But I've heard...
He ain't bad, much.
He ain't bad. But we've heard you two sing together, and you work so well together as a duo.
We used to have a duo called Mods and Sods.
Love it. Love it. A little take on the odds and sods there.
This is probably 12 years ago, 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we had good fun together. We had some good gigs together.
Brilliant. Now, we're going to play that one.
Enjoyable.
Now, we're going to play that one in a second. That's a year late, which was obviously you and the Mighty...
Off Stanley Road.
Correct. And that is with the Mighty One, because obviously I've renamed him the Mighty One, because I get a quid every time someone says that.
And I'll tell you what I'll do for you.
Yes.
I've got a signed picture of Paul Weller in my spare bedroom to hang on the wall.
Wow.
If anyone can tell me what the meaning of a year late is...
Yep.
I'll give him that picture.
Oh, you don't have to do that, but that is really nice, isn't it?
Whoa.
You're not allowed to enter. You're not allowed to enter, though, Andy. Okay, that's for our listeners.
I'm not entering.
No, you can't. You can't enter either.
Of Paul Weller, and it's him sat there in a pinstripe suit saying about the parking.
Yeah.
You know the story.
Yes, I do. That is brilliant.
I've got a signed picture for Paul Weller, and if anyone can answer what a year late, the meaning of a year late is, in my interpretation,
yes,
I'll give him that.
That's it. So we've got to get inside your mind and find out what you think it means as well. So we've got to try and guess that.
We can't do that.
No, we can't. We can try, though. Now, what's on the horizon for Johnny Mason this year? Now, or there is an inkling that there could be something to do with Brighton. We're not sure yet, are we, Johnny? We're trying to work something out there.
We're not sure yet. We're thinking about it, aren't we?
Absolutely. We're having a little discussion. And
have a little chat with the little fella over in the 80 there.
Absolutely. He still owes me a blooming meal, I can tell you that, mate. You know, when he was on that...
Audis now.
Oh, I know. What's that all about? You know, selling cars 1 minute on a... What's that cookery programme?
Come dine with me.
That's the one, Andy.
Oh, yeah, he cooked me that meal, though.
Oh, did he cook it for
beautiful.
You? Yeah, we're still waiting.
On fire. Jane came out like a fire starter.
Where he has promised.
Keith Flint.
Neil has promised to cook it for me as well.
Indeed. We done a tribute show last week for Keith Flint, God rest his soul, and you know.
God rest his soul. Yeah.
And a lot of people, well, everyone's cup of tea, Keith Flint, but for me, he was a musical pioneer. I think.
Genius.
He was a genius. Let's be honest with you. He was sort of the mouth and trousers, as we would say, of that music scene.
Everybody shuffling. He was the first shuffler.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was Keith Flint.
Yeah,
I've seen him 6 times.
Yeah.
Prodigy live.
I've seen them once. I've seen them once, and they just blew me eardrums, actually, to be fair, because they were so loud. It was unbelievable. It was either that or I'm getting so old. I don't know. One of the two. Possibly the latter. So we're going to play A Year Late, and then after that, we're going to play particularly one of my personal favourites, which obviously we've chosen as well, which is You Do Something to Me, which was my wedding song to Rachel as well. We actually danced to that one.
Which is a song about unconditional love.
Absolutely. And I've got the lyrics in front of me here as well, just in case I forget them, on my little board here from Paul Weller himself, You Do Something to Me. So, for now, though, okay. Johnny Mason, you are a superstar.
Bless you.
As far as I'm concerned, you are the man. We will have a chat in the week or next week or something. We'll have a chat, obviously, off air, obviously. We'll find out what we can do as in moving forward and doing something, maybe this year, maybe something really exciting as well in the pipelines, as Andy and I were talking about earlier, weren't we, Andy?
Oh, indeed.
So we want you to be part of that as well, Johnny, but we'll let you know more about that as soon as we get more information. But for now, let's give Johnny Mason a big round of applause!
Take care, fella.
Thank you, guys.
You're very welcome.
I'll speak to you soon.
Okay, you take care, my friend, and we'll see you soon.
Enjoy the songs.
Take care.
No worries. Thanks, Johnny. Cheers now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.